This is Arborescent. It's an outliner for project decomposition and AI workflows. It was built for software development, but can be used for any project that can be broken down into parts. In this video, I'll run you through the basic features. At its core, it's an outliner. It's made to be fast. It's keyboard first. It has a minimalist aesthetic, so it just gets out of your way and let's get your job done. So let's jump right in and make a new software project. Let's make a little script to organize our images. Just give it a basic specification. So scan the current folder for images and sort those images into folders by year and month. It's a pretty basic spec. We're going to need to flesh that out a little bit before we start working. So to gain some time, we're going to ask the AI to help us fill that out. Usually I do this in the terminal, but I want to show you the browser feature, which can be used for anything. It doesn't have to be a software project. It could be a to-do list. It could be a cake recipe. So we're going to open the integrated browser and open our AI of choice. Here I'm using Claude, but we could also use any AI really, LeChat, ChatGPT. They all work pretty good. We just need to right-click on the node that we want some help with, collaborate in browser. It pastes the contents into the clipboard, and then we can paste them directly into the chat. So here we can see that it's starting with a bit of review context, saying this is a hierarchical task list, asking the AI to suggest any improvements, anything that's incomplete, any inconsistencies, stuff like that, and asking it for a particular output format that Arborescent can detect. Then it gives the actual content, so we just send that. It's pretty quick, so now it's given us a suggestion of things to add to the specification. So we just need to copy this, and it's going to open Arborescent's feedback pane. Now, I'd usually be pretty thorough on technical specifications, but for the purpose of this demo, let's just do a very basic review. And the point of the feedback panel is that we can make changes, we can edit stuff, delete, add before we accept it back into our main tree. For instance, let's say, okay, well, I don't care about WebP, so we'll take that out. Recursively scan subdirectories, that's okay. Here it's reading metadata. Here is sorting images into folders by year and month. That's fine. Directory structure is okay. Move or copy files. Well, you know, for an MVP, let's just move them. Reporting and logging, yeah, remove that. We don't need that for a first version. And it's given some error handling here, which is good. So once we're happy with that, we accept it to write it back to our main tree, and we're ready to go. There's also a pretty handy zoom feature, especially for larger projects. So we can right-click on a node and zoom in on that. It's going to open another panel. So any changes we make in this panel will be mirrored back to the main file. So now we know what to build, but we haven't told the AI how we want it built. It's probable that for a script like this, it's just going to default to Python, which is fine. But as a Node.js developer, I'd prefer to use that. I can say that in my prompt, but it means I'll have to repeat it the next time I want to make a script like this. And I have some other preferences I'd like to give it as well. So let's take advantage of Arborescent's context system so we don't have to repeat ourselves every time. So we just need to create a context node. Let's create that in the root. We'll call it context. We can add our instructions in there. Use Node.js. Prefer declarative naming over comments. Give it some basic unit test coverage. We don't need a lot for a local script. And lastly, I like to use procedural style instead of OOB for short scripts like this. Little spelling mistake there. You just need to right-click on it. There's a spell checker that's integrated with Arborescent. So now we just need to right-click on our context node, go to Blueprint, declare it as context, give it an icon, something that we can remember it by. We can change the color. Click Apply. Before we use it, let's open our terminal. I've already created the project folder, and we can run our AI coding assistant. I'm using Claude here, but it also works good with Mistral Vibe or with Copilot. We just need to right-click on the instructions that we'd like to send, execute, and click on the context we'd like to apply. You can see just to the left of the node where we've applied the context icon appears just to let us know that it's associated with that node. It'll also roll down to any descendants by default. So here we just need to click on in terminal to send those instructions to the terminal. So here you can see it's attached the context that we've given it and followed up with the content, and the AI will go ahead and start coding the feature. Every context is part of the blueprint. The blueprint is the reusable workflow of your project. You can right-click a node and set it as a blueprint. So here we're going to add a blueprint node for bugs. Add that to the blueprint. Gives a default icon, which we can change to anything that we like. Difference between a blueprint and a context is that blueprints don't have the gutter icon. The benefit of blueprints is that they let you describe reusable workflows. So I'll give you an example of that in the Arborescent project file. Pretty early on in the Arborescent project, I started using it to build itself with. Just kept adding on to this blueprint as I developed a way of working with an AI that I found productive. So at the top here, you can see my workflow blueprints. So I generally start actually at the backlog. I'll add a feature specification into the backlog. Once I'm happy with the feature, I will review it using a review context that I have created down here under functional contexts. So it's just trying to get the AI to think a bit more like a project manager, or product manager rather. Then I'll drop it into the major feature, and here I've already attached my context for coding a major feature, so I don't need to redo that every time. So, blueprints just kind of give you a way to build out the structure of your project, attach the context that you want, so you've got a workflow there that suits you and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Another useful feature is hyperlinks, and to give you an example, let's go down to the technical context. So within each technical context here, I want the project conventions to be followed, but I don't want to have to repeat them every time in each context. So what I've done is I've just created a blueprint node up here, and within it I've listed all of the various ways I'd like things to be coded. So I just need to right-click on that, edit, copy as hyperlink, and then just paste it into the context where I want that to be reused. So when that's attached to a feature and sent to the AI, it's going to send it everything that's within this context and everything that's within the attached hyperlink. There is also a blueprint mode, which enables you to hide anything that's not part of the blueprint, and that's useful if you just want to work on the workflow and context structure. You can actually export or import blueprints, and that's nice to share your workflow with your team or with your community. Arbo files are human readable. They're in YAML format, so they're version control friendly. You can check them in with merge requests, ask for code reviews on them. So if you want to make changes to team workflow, other people can check them out before they're committed. You can find my blueprint in the project blueprints folder on GitHub. If you have an AI-assisted React Electron project, it should help you get up and running quickly. And there's another few examples. There's an SJS project, a science research project, and a team offsite planner. You can find the link to the repo under the video. Arborescent is open source under GPL. Contributions are welcome. Thanks for watching.